What's going on, gamers, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox lovers, gamer lovers in general, tech comparison lovers, right? People who like to know how systems work, and just people who are into the console war too, because there's always a mix of all of that. Just the way that it works. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is. So here we have a gentleman called PS Ready. I can tell he's kind of a Sony fanboy, but at least he's reasonable in certain things. There's some things that I'm going to have to interject on, that need to be interjected on. Some of his takes I actually agree with. Um, so this video is about gamers being furious over the PS5 Pro updates. And one thing that I can't disagree with him is that him always blaming the devs. Now, when it comes to somebody like Ubisoft, I can understand that because if you're intelligent enough, you know how to deal with things on a case-by-case basis instead of just always pointing fingers in one direction. You know what I mean? You need to look at it case by case basis and do a good job on everything, not just think that it's always the same problem, because that's not the case when you have all these different engines, different type of coatings, different type of, let me just say, game development, if it's finished or unfinished, and depending on what type of engine they're using, because some engines can collide with other, AI upscalers and stuff like that. It just really depends. You never know. So we're going to get into this. We're going to react along the way. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Glad to cover the series. Like I said, we have a lot to still go and the rest of this generation. So let's see what he has to say. And here we go.
But anyway, that brings me to the second part of this video. We got to talk about Ubisoft once again. This is kind of cool, I guess. I'll tell you why it's like a backhanded
Ubisoft.
kind of cool. Like, I don't want to praise them for this, but basically, if you're not caught up on the news with Ubisoft, they suck. They make Sony look bad with the PS5 Pro by putting out.
No, Sony's making themselves look bad with the PS5 Pro because the PSSR was advertised to people like it was about to be something that was close to DLSS, and it is not. Now, of course, Ubisoft makes anything look bad because they have a dexterous, manipulative villain strategy on what they want to do when it comes to stock manipulation, selling out, and pushing a certain agenda. Of course, I've exposed them a lot on my channel this year. If y'all haven't seen that, a lot, like big time. And the thing about them is, like I said, they're going to do what they want to do to continue their agenda. If you want to work with them, that's on you.
Bunk patches for Star Wars Outlaws and
Yeah.
Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and then they go ghost. They're like, yeah, you think it looks bad? Well, we think it looks good. So you're wrong because we made the game. It's the classic thing that we see from so many game developers where us as gamers and people who play games are just sitting here saying, here's what we want in games. And they go, no, stupid. That's not what you want. You want every one of our games to feel exactly the same, be completely bloated, be checklist filled, microtransaction filled, battle pass, season pass,
Yeah.
DLC fests that we're going to charge you $70 for the basic version of, and then $120 for the ultimate edition. And people are like, I can't afford milk. Please make your games worth the cost of entry and keep the cost of entry actually at $70. I don't want to be advertised to for the $120 edition on day one. And they're like, no. But anyway, people are pissed about the Avatar and Star Wars Outlaws patch, rightfully so, because they don't work. They like make shimmering happen. The upscaling's terrible.
The shimmering is a PSSR issue. It's not a development issue. That's why I have to say that. If it's something else, then I can understand that. But that's already been proven. Digital Foundry already proved that. I proved that. Activision proved it by finding out the issue. It's their anti-aliasing, Sony's PSSR anti-aliasing. It causes those white noise. It doesn't remove it where other people's system does that. And then Silent Hill Dev said the same thing. That's why they went and fixed the patch and put TSR over it. Epic did the same thing. It was done on Call of Duty. GT7, you see it too. Dragon's Dogma 2, you see it. I mean, I can name up to 10 games where they had issues on it. God of War Ragnarok even had some issues itself. And then you had Star Wars Jedi Survivor from Respawn. So, I mean, you have all these different developers showing that there's issues with it. And I've covered a lot of games where it had issues. Warhammer the other day showed it the same thing. Like, it's not a development issue. That's a Sony system issue. Now, can developers release a lazy patch? That's possible too. But the shimmering issue is specifically Sony's issue.
They're just not using PSSR effectively, and a lot of people were asking for the PlayStation 5 regular version, performance mode and quality mode back that doesn't use PSSR.
Sure.
So at the very least, you can use the horsepower you get with the PlayStation 5 Pro to kind of brute force your way through some of the issues that playing on a regular PS5 would present. And up until now, it's been pretty much silence, but the team who worked on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora put out a message that basically said, yeah, we're aware this looks like we're working on that PS5 Pro patch, but in the meantime, we're going to reactivate the regular PS5 mode on the PS5 Pro so you can play in performance or quality, and you will get a better experience if you are playing on the PS5 Pro. And the reason I'm so mad at Ubisoft about this is because it reflects poorly on Sony for something that's not really their fault. Like, if we look at...
Yes, it is. Dude, I'm telling you, the shimmering stuff is Sony's issue. See, he's trying to say that Sony's innocent, which is absolutely not true at all. And I'm not trying to start anything with him, but I'm correcting him specifically because they also said nothing since it came out. Let's see if we want to fix it. Right, let me go out and get a message to gamers. Oh no, they've said nothing so far. Except, the $700 is not overpriced, and we ain't worried about people going to PC. People are still going to stay loyal to PlayStation and eat it all up.
Get games like Gran Turismo, my first Gran Turismo or Gran Turismo 7, I've been playing on my big TV upstairs on my PS5 Pro, and I've been playing on my PlayStation 5 Slim down here. And having ray tracing enabled in races and still being able to take 60 frames per second as the frame rate is amazing. It's so freaking cool. It looks actually really extremely good on my big TV blown up like that. And I'm kind of shocked that when I come down here in the basement to play, I notice the difference immediately. Like, even though it still runs at 60 FPS, it looks worse, like even on a smaller screen 10 inches from my face down here than it does upstairs on my PS5 Pro. And then you look at other games that use it. Any game that Sony makes first party uses PSSR effectively, and
yeah, but GT7 had issues. They had to fix it. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, GT7 PSSR issues. It had issues. Looks horrible on the PS5 Pro. They had to actually fix some things and allow people to turn it off. There was issues when it came out. You got some people saying there was no first-party games. Oh, yeah, there were. But they got on it, and they can get on it fast because they can release patches whenever they want. They don't have to wait on a developer.
obviously it can be done, but the developers like Respawn and Ubisoft and everyone else, they're just whipping these things together willy-nilly, throwing them out into the wild and saying, well, it looks bad. What do you want us to do? Like, you want us to work on it? You want us to work on this game that you paid $70 for? What a moron. He actually wants us to finish our work and have it be a quality product for $70. What a stupid idiot. So hopefully this patch that they're working on doesn't take long. And now that they're kind of bullied into submission, just like EA and Respawn are, let's set our targets on a third-party exclusive game real quick, Silent Hill 2. What's going on, Bloober Team? I've been ride or dying, you guys. Gassing you.
What are you talking about? If you go look at Digital Foundry's video, Bloober Team removed PSSR with the same patch and turned on TSR, and that issue was gone. Like I said, that's Sony's system. That's not Bloober. I just prefer people. See this right here? Digital Foundry says the latest Silent Hill 2 patch replaced PSSR with TSR performance mode on PlayStation 5 Pro. And it ended up running fine. And it looked a whole lot better. It's their AI system. This guy's being kind of slow. Sorry, I just have to say it. He's just kind of being a Sony fanboy defending Sony when instead of realizing when it's their fault and when it's the developer's fault. One thing I don't like is misplaced blame. Because then you get other people believing that nonsense.
Up saying I like your games more than most people, then you throw out Silent Hill 2 and it runs like crap and looks worse on the PS5 Pro with completely broken reflections, and you guys just ghost us? Are you working on a patch or not? Like, it would be nice to have some acknowledgement that your game runs like now on the $700 console and looks even worse than it does on the $500 console, but no, they're just gone. So hopefully
that's a PSSR issue. Once again, you are wrong. That's not Bloober's fault, which is why all these other patches they've been releasing that they released to other consoles and games with different upscalers are not having these issues because it's their system.
Now that we got the first two out of the way, me complaining about Bloober Team's ineffectiveness at creating a PSSR update for their game actually makes them do it, like makes them go to work and actually do their job. I would have gladly waited longer.
Funny how that problem doesn't exist on PlayStation 5, right? And anything else, but when you put on PSSR, there goes that issue. But yeah, let's blame the developers instead of Sony system. Oh yeah, guys, let's go ahead and blame the developers when they launched DLSS and it was performing horrible. And it's the developer's fault. Ha, yeah, no.
For the PS5 Pro patch, if I knew it was going to work when it came out. Like, I don't want this half-assed garbage version of the patch just to have a patch. Like, do what Space Marine 2 did. Wait for the patch to be done before you release it. Novel concept. But anyway, that brings me to the third topic of today's video, which is my review of my first Gran Turismo. I'm a little late on it because this game is brutally hard. If you want to gold everything, here's proof that I did it. I 100% of this game. I got a gold medal on.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, PSSR has a lot of issues. All y'all have to do is, like I said, you can go take a look at Digital Foundry's games, and they show a lot of games that have issues. And then you can just do this, right? And, you know, there's people that talk about it. And then Star Wars Outlaw patches in PS5 Pro, PSSR toggle lets you turn it off. Yeah, because they realize that's the problem. You see what I mean? When you keep on realizing it, that it's like, wait, hold on. We're starting to realize that this is not a development problem. This is a Sony problem. Their system is still in beta. It's young. It has a lot of work to go on. It's not perfectly released. So when these fanboys see a problem, they want to blame developers instead of realizing it's their system. So yeah, that's why people. Dragon's Dogma 2, another impressive PS5 Pro upgrade marred by PSSR issues. Undeniable performance advantages, but image quality problems can't be ignored. It is that is the problem, not the developers. Capcom, a guide to developers. I can take you to a lot of other games too, like I said. And even Sony first-party games. The only games that are probably not going to have that are older last-gen games, like Last of Us 1 Remastered, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, Unreal Engine 4 games. And that might be possible, but it's a case-by-case basis. So I had to make this because I had to correct this dude. Like I said, if anybody want to challenge me, come in. Because you have some people really thinking like he does, and it's wrong. Either you're right or you're wrong. And I'm going to have to say it, man, you're wrong. Other than that, I like what you said about Ubisoft because they are annoying. And they're villains of the year. But all in all, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. Peace out.